channel. So let me talk about Buddhism. I love the story of Buddha. Buddhism is a faith that was founded by Siddhartha Gautama and also known as the Buddha. More than 20, 2,500 years ago, with an estimated 500 million to 1 billion followers. Scholars consider Buddhism one of the major world religions. As a non-theistic faith with no god or deity to worship, some scholars describe Buddhism as a philosophy or a moral code rather than an organized religion. Many of the beliefs and practice of Buddhism revolve around the concept of suffering and its causes. Buddhism has historically been most prominent in East and Southern Asia, but its influence is growing throughout the West. Many Buddhism ideas and philosophies overlap with those of other faiths. Buddhism's beliefs and practices. Followers of Buddhism don't acknowledge a supreme God or deity. They instead focus on achieving enlightenment, a state of inner peace and wisdom. When followers reach this spiritual excellence, they are said to have experienced nirvana. The religion's founder, Buddha, is considered an extraordinary but not a god. The word Buddha means enlightenment. The path to enlightenment is attained by utilizing morality, meditation, and wisdom. Buddhists often medicate because they believe it helps awaken truth. There are many philosophies and interpretations within Buddhism, making it a tolerant and evolving religion. Some scholars don't recognize Buddhism as an organized religion, but rather a way of life or a spiritual tradition. Buddhism encourages its people to avoid self-indulgence, but also self-denial. But Buddha's most important teachings, known as the Four Noble Truths, are essential to understanding the religion. But Buddhists embrace the concept of karma, the law of cause and effect, and reincarnation, the continuous cycle of a rebirth. Followers of Buddhism can worship in temples or their own homes. Buddhist monks or bhikkhus follow a strict code of conduct which includes celibacy. There is no single Buddhist symbol, but a number of images evolved that represent Buddhist beliefs, including the lotus flower, the eight spoken Dharma wheel, the Bodhi tree, and the swastika, an ancient symbol whose name means well-being or good fortune in Sanskrit. So, who is Buddha? Siddhartha Gautama was the founder of Buddhism, who later became known as the Buddha, living during the 5th century BC. Gautama was born into a wealthy, rich family as a prince in present-day Nepal. Although he had an easy life, Gautama was moved by suffering in the world. He decided to give up to lavish lifestyle and endure poverty for nearly 6 years. He undertook fasting and other austerities, but these techniques proved ineffectual and he abandoned them. He eventually promoted the idea of the middle way, which means existing between two extremes, thus is so alive without indulgences but also without deprivation. After regaining this, his strength has succeeded him under a Bodhi tree in west central India and promised not to rest until he had attained the supreme enlightenment. After fighting off Mara, an evil spirit who tempted him worldly comforts and desires, Siddhartha reaches enlightenment, becoming a Buddha at the age of 35. He spent the rest of his life teaching others about how to achieve the spiritual state. When Gautama passed away around 485 BC, 83 BC, his followers began to reorganize a religious movement. Buddha's teachings became the foundation for what would develop into Buddhism. In the 3rd century BC, Asoka the Great, the major Indian emperor, made Buddhism the state religion of India. Buddhism monasteries were built and missionary work was encouraged. Over the next few centuries, Buddhism began to spread beyond India. The, the thought and philosophies of Buddhists became all by 5 moral precepts which prohibit killing living things and taking which is not given, lying, using drugs or alcohol. Four noble truths. The four noble truths are thought are the truth of suffering dukkha, the truth of the cause of suffering samudaya, the truth of the end of suffering nirodha, the truth of the path that frees us from suffering magga, eightfold path. The Buddha taught his followers that the end of suffering as described in the Four Noble Truths could be achieved by following an eightfold path is no particular order. The eightfold path of Buddhism teaches the following ideals for ethical conduct, mental discipline, and achieving wisdom, right understanding, right thought, right speech,